Alright guys, we're here at the track again with my little puppy. Anyway, so we're at the track again, gonna get the cart ready. I've already switched out the to the new engine yesterday, so we're pretty much ready to go. We just need to run it for a bit, warm it up, just to see if there's any problems. If not, we can just go straight on the track. Anyway, so let's get ready. Alright guys, I gotta show you something. This is the exhaust on the cart that I was using, and I tried to do the PWK carburetor, and yeah, it really looks like the carburetor is just way too powerful for this engine. So what we're thinking that it happened was that it was just overheating, okay, everything, because this really looks like it was like burned to crisp, you know, and once it was like just way too hot, it just snapped. So as I was driving, I literally felt like the sound got all of a sudden really loud, because by that time it was just like this attached to the engine. So yeah, as you can see here, it's just way too much fuel coming into the exhaust system as well, and this apparently was spewing out a lot of flames as well. So yep, so PWK, I have decided to completely forget about it. We're not going to do PWK anymore, and now we are going back to PZ27, which performs really well, and yeah, it looks like this is the best solution for this cart right now. And I got, luckily, a spare exhaust system, so this cart is ready to get on the track for a couple more sessions before I leave for home again. Anyway, here's my friends just waiting for the next session, as there's a rental cart session going on. Yep, it's a pretty big track. It's not bad, but really it's very tiring driving this track because there's a lot of high-speed corners and stuff. Yeah. just really puts your arms to the test. And these carts are quite powerful, so yeah, get you going, man. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll be going back home soon and hopefully taking to my local track for a test as well. Very happy with the setup, very successful testing this time around. Very happy with what has transpired. Basically, we've gone through a lot of solutions and problems, basically gained a lot of experience, learned a lot more about this engine build, and it looks like we're going to be able to, you know, mass produce this solution to do races and stuff, 1 minute races. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll see you guys next time. Hey guys, I'm on my way back home now. I still got about four hours to go of driving, and I just want to do like a sort of conclusion to this particular trip that I had. So this time is probably like the first time we officially got out as a race team to really go and test out our engines at a different track. Luckily, this is a track that is very friendly to us. We made some new friends, and this track, you know, shares our passion, you know. So yeah, throughout the whole time we were like really well treated, and yeah, I think there were a lot of things that, you know, they didn't need to help us with, but they did, and, you know, gave us a lot of discounts and things. So these guys were really good, you know. I mean, we had a really enjoyable, really great 3 days sort of testing period, and the takeaway from these 3 days for my particular engine build, it really wasn't anything particularly wrong with the engine. It was more the use of carburetors. So we have now you know, finally decided that PWK is definitely way too powerful for our engine. It caused way too much damage, and yeah, so we're not going to go with PWK anymore. We are going to stick with PZ or PE engines. Those are a lot more gentle to our engine, and still it's able to provide decent power and performance. So, you know, we had a lot of fun, and yeah, one of the mechanics, well, not the mechanic, the engineer, my friend, okay, at least my friend, who was kind of reluctant to drive the whole time because you know, he's getting old, and also he just really didn't want to get into the cart at least until he fixes the cart, you know. So finally he did, and his reaction is definitely, the cart is really powerful, very fun to drive, but he just doesn't have the physical endurance to drive that thing anymore. It's just way too powerful for him. But he thinks that, you know, it's a very successful build, and we should move forward with the current iteration of the build, which is basically the 225 engine with the 27 millimeter carburetor, which I think is the most stable combination at the moment anyway. Another takeaway for me is the clutch. Okay, so my kart was never able to reach a very high top speed for some reason. I always thought that was my weight problem, so I'm a very heavy guy. So for karting is not really ideal, but yeah, I mean, I love the sport, so I do it anyway. And yeah, I'm like close to 90 kilograms. That's very heavy, and I was never able to reach very high top speeds. But then they were saying that, you know, they would be able to reach 83 kilometers per hour, 85, something like that, and I would be stuck at like 71, and that was just way too low, even at my body weight. So they thought that, you know, there's got to be something wrong. So when I, you know, like after one particular session, I got back I got back to the pits, and I thought that the clutch was a bit shaky. The shell, okay, was a bit shaky, so I thought, you know, I'd take it apart and fix it. And when we did that, we found that the clutch, like inside the clutch, is all covered in oil. It's the chain lubricant. So that really prevented me from getting the possible high speed from the engine, because it was just not gripping well with the clutch. So yeah, we cleaned that up and finally fixed it. So now I'm able to reach the high speeds that the engine's supposed to be able to do, at least for my body weight. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. My lap time was able to improve by a lot. I was doing about 54, 55 seconds per lap, and now I'm like 51, so that's a significant difference. My friend was able to do like 49, but he's like, I don't know, 30 kilograms lighter than me. So yeah, anyway, so that's my takeaway. No more PWK, and watch out for the oil in the clutch. Okay, so for their takeaway, it's a bit different, because they came with a kind of weird carburetor. I thought it was not very well built. It was just very clunky, and all the things are in the wrong position, at least to what I'm used to. So I thought that was not a particularly good carburetor. And they've been having that problem the whole time. Like the carburetor was just screwing up with them and stuff. But it really seemed like that the carburetor was not the problem. It was actually the fuel itself. So the fuel, for some reason, because we got straight from the pump, like from the station, like you wouldn't think that it's dirty, but when we examined closer, there's so much debris in there, sediments and all that. Like some of it is pretty chunky too. Like it got all inside the fuel pump, the carburetor, so it was really blocking up a lot of jets and stuff like that. And they had a lot of problems dealing with that. They had to clean the carburetor at least like 4 or 5 times. So at the end of the day, as a double safety measure, they decided to install 2 fuel filters. One is straight after coming out from the fuel tank, and the other one is before going into the carburetor. So the pump is right in between both filters. So that's like a double safety measure. And at the end, they didn't have any more problems. But another problem that they had was that because the carburetor is so different, when they bought the jets and pilot jets, they thought they were buying for the correct jet, but it really wasn't. It's sort of like a not as mainstream sort of thing, so they couldn't buy the correct jets. So this time they weren't able to tweak the jets. And you know, I mean, I was there, you know, I thought that they were having a bit of a problem with the pilot jet as well. So yeah, anyway, so that was pretty much the main takeaways from this particular trip. I thought it was, I mean, overall it's fantastic, and we got a lot of great footage, so I think we'll be able to do like a pretty decent video. And yeah, I'm hoping that yeah, after this I'm gonna be testing the build over and over again just to see the endurance, everything else. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. If nothing fails, we'll be pushing this engine to mainstream market to see if we can get a race happening with this. So it's like a same make race with this particular engine. Anyone can come up with their own chassis, but the engine has to be supplied by us, which is yeah, should be an interesting business. Anyway, so that's it for today, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.